Hi everybody, just wanted to have a quick chat about preparation for the class. And what we need to do, we need to have, there's a couple of options, but we really need to have a 10-inch ring frame with our piece of work, our piece of fabric with all the templates drawn out. It needs to go in there. This piece actually is too small because I'm running out of twill. So to use up my scraps, I'm actually going to sew some calico around this to then put it into the frame. And that's a really good idea. If you've got some pieces of fabric that are too small, you can just literally pop this onto a piece of calico, sew around it with the machine, and then cut out the excess calico to reveal your square. And then you've got the calico to actually put over the edge. That is what I've done in this piece here. And it's a very good way of being able to sort of minimise sort of using expensive cloths and using up all your scraps that you might have, because let's face it, calico is just cheap fabric. So I mean, this is like £80 a metre, this is like £4 a metre. So there I've got my piece already for the class drawn up. Now I've actually used a very heavy pencil here because I want you to all see the outline, but really you should use nothing more than a 2H pencil. You don't want to use a soft pencil because the graphite can come onto your threads, but I've used a little bit of HB pencil here just so you could clearly see the outlines that we're going to use. Now I said in the instructions use a 5cm square, maximum 5 centimetres. If you want it slightly smaller, you can do it slightly smaller. But please use the PDF that I sent you to draw from. And then you should be able to trace this twill. If you've got the twill or the calico, whatever fabric you're using, you should be able to place it on the window if you haven't got a light box, and then trace it through. And what I'm going to show you is, this is my hoop that I'm going to use for the class. Now I've bound the inside edge with bias binding. Now the inside being bound helps the fabric to grip. If you just use the wood, it can be a little bit slippy. So I would recommend to bound the inside ring at least. Ideally you want to do both because then you get a super duper grip, but mainly I find just the inside is fine. And what we're going to do, we're going to put this fabric, make sure it's the correct way. Now with twill, if you're using the twill, it's like tent stitch. It needs to go from bottom left to top right. So hopefully you can see the diagonal edge on there. And we're going to put this over this. Now with your frame, try and use one with a screw top. Doesn't matter how much you fasten that with your fingers, you always tighten it much more with a screwdriver. So we're going to position this. Now make sure it's right. Make sure you like where it is. Make sure the diagonal line is going across like that, almost on the bias, and the selvage is running down. That's the grain of the cloth is going down. So position this. I always tend to put this at the top so it doesn't catch on my threads because it can get really annoying. And just take a bit of time, position this, and when you're happy, just push that on. And obviously iron your cloth, press your cloth beforehand. Sometimes I like to do this when the cloth is just slightly damp, because when it dries, it goes even tighter in the frame. And just pull that. If you need to turn it over, and just use your fingers to hold the inner frame down and just really pull it. Make sure you have no creases there, no puckers, and the fabric's not caught. Keep going round so you're really happy. Use a screwdriver to tighten that up, and you'll be amazed how much tighter it will go. And when you're happy, and it sounds like a drum, this should go tighter. It's still not tight enough, but it's getting there. When you're happy, you can then insert this into your seat frame, ready to go. And there's a little screw here, like a little plastic screw now these days, used to be wooden, and you can tighten it. Now you can either sit on this, put it between your legs, or put it sideways, or you can have it on the table and work. It depends on the height of your table, and you're ready for work. Now, you can get these seat frames like this, where the actual arm is attached to the frame. You can also get this type, which has like a sort of clamp, and this fits into the same base. And you can then use, you have a versatility, you can then use pretty much any size ring frame you've got, which quite often embroiderer's got a selection, they've got a few. Again, it's advisable to just bind that inside edge like I've done here, helps to grip the cloth, the same as the other one. So you then pop your frame, fabric in the frame, put that in, pop it in there, and you're ready to go. The other alternative, if you want to, you can, let me just pop those out of the way, is that you can use these rotating frames. These frames are very good. Let me just get that right around like that. This has a bias bind, this has a sort of tape, webbing tape down the bottom and the top, and you actually sew or pin your fabric to this, and then you use strings to pull it out on the side. If you want more advice on how to sort of frame up using one of these, then please phone me or email me, and I'm happy to discuss it. But these are quite good when you're doing like longer pieces or canvas work. And again, what I would do here with this, I would attach some calico to the bottom and the sides. I would then pin this to here and here, and you can rotate these tops and bottoms and tighten them here, so you've got a nice taut piece to work on. And you can do some stringing, some ribbon like across, some webbing tape or ribbon, whatever you've got, from side to side. Just pin them, go around here and pin it on the sides to pull it taut. And it's quite a good way of holding your work. And it's great when you've got perhaps a larger piece, when you know the ring frames aren't great for big pieces. Hope that helps, and I look forward to seeing you on the 18th. Bye.